No, that doesn't make no sense. Hey Homo sapiens and Marbites, welcome back to the channel. I am Robe Marby Scott. For any of you new watchers or new subscribers, welcome. And today's look is me being a fairy, and I did collaborate with someone else, just one person. I've been doing a lot of collaborations lately. And we chose to do something like pretty and glamorous, and I decided I wanted to be a fairy. I've never done a fairy look before on the channel. I don't think I have anyway. And also I wanted to do something for Halloween but pretty, not always having to be gruesome and everything. And I'm loving these pieces that I've made, and I will talk about that in the video. But yeah, look at all. Yeah. Anyway, let's go on to the tutorial. So guys, to start off this tutorial, I'm going to start off by maximizing this fairy look by getting some fairy skin, and as you can see, I am just stippling and buffing in some foundation on my face, and then I'm going to drag that all the way down onto my neck, just so that my face and my body are very much the same color. Now I'm going to do some highlighting and contouring on this video, which is a little different than I usually do, but needless to say, I'm going to go in with some yellow, and then I'm going to go in with a light brown that I would probably use underneath my eyes anyway, and then we're going to marry those two shades together. So the reason why I'm particularly shading my face this way today is because I want the middle of my face, like the forefront of my face, to appear a lot lighter than my natural skin tone. And although I do want it to look realistic, I don't want it to be realistic as it's human realistic, because we are going to go in with some purple contouring later on. So I want to emulate as if you would feel like this is what a fairy would look like if the fairy was from Marbasia, and this is me, you know, being a fairy from Marbasia. So I just want everything to be light and seamless before I go on to doing any contour. So clearly I'm using a very yellow pigmented undertoned concealer that is not ready for my shade complexion, but you know, it's working for this look, my vision that I'm doing. And the lighter brown, I'm using that because that's just going to even lighten the areas around where I've put the yellows, and also obviously with the contour that I'm going to be doing later on, you will see that these lighter areas do pop out a lot more than if I had just left my face how I just finished off just there. The contour isn't particularly dark, it's more ashy, and it's very it's kind of close to my actual skin tone, but because of the lightness of everything else, you can see that it's cutting what it needs to cut. So before we move on to any eyeshadows, we are going to set our highlighted areas and bake, should we say. And I literally did kind of leave this bake on for quite some time because I started dancing around to the music that you're hearing now. And yeah, so I'm just making sure that every part of that has been baked, and then I'm going to wipe that off and then set it again with my Avon spray, which is not actually a setting spray, it's a tanning spray. But anyway, going in with my first shade of eyeshadow, I'm using a purple, and I'm concentrating that on the outer corners of my eyes, and then I'm using the fluffy brush to go into my crease, and I'm like literally pushing it into the crease and not hurting myself obviously. Then I'm using that same fluffy brush to create the purple, as you can pink fuchsia that you just saw there, and then I'm going to go in with a blue and go over that purple just to create like some sort of dimension, and then obviously go in with some shimmer onto the tops of my well, give like a semi halo look, but because I'm using shades quite close to what I've been using. It just gives like a very iridescent look. Then I'm just going to line my eyes with that same fuchsia pink that I've just used on my lids, and to line my lashes, and then I'm going to blur those out before we move on. Obviously I did my brows in blue, which you can see here but you cannot see in my picture. Oh, look at that, I have pink eyes now. Anyway, and now I'm just highlighting as I kind of normally would. But today, as you can see, the way that I'm using my brush, I'm kind of, you know, doing squiggly lines rather than just a lush long line. Now I'm going in with the same purple that I've used on my eyes first to create the contours of my face. So the first eyeshadow that I used for my eyes, this is the same eyeshadow that I'm using for my contour. You can use whatever colors that you decide to use, but make sure if you're going to, well, not make sure, but if you're going to use my video as a staple for your fairy look that you may like you're going to use that same eyeshadow so that the look looks more cohesive for yourself. Now, as you can see, I'm using the same shade on my cheeks to create blush, and I wasn't anticipating how pigmented the eyeshadows I was using were, so then I have to go in with my foundation brush and use the foundation that's left over on the brush to blur that opacity of the eyeshadows out before I go and do anything else. Now I'm highlighting my nose, and I'm using the same highlighter, but as you can see I'm using like a kind of thickish brush just because I want my nose just to look very sharp, but I want it also to be my nose. I don't want to change my nose in this video at all, really. Going in with a matte lipstick from NYX, and I can't remember the shade. And I actually really like this lipstick, and I also like the brush. It's like a very, it's very velvety, the brush. It's not a doe foot applicator, it's more like a microphone. Anyway, going in with some highlighter in the inner corners of my eyes, and then I'm going to drag that just, you know, close to my irises, and then I'm going to put some highlighter for some weird reason. I don't know why, I just felt like this look needed some highlighter on the outsides. Anyway, now it's time for the pieces that I made. So I made these out of scrap laminate sheets that I had found at work, and I spray painted them, and before I spray painted them I put liquid latex and flour mixture on them to create bumps and whatever. Then I spray painted them, and as the spray paint was drying I sprinkled on some glitter, and then once everything was dry I then placed some gems on them, which you're gonna be able to see hopefully in the video somewhere, but I am going to show some pieces in the process. You might notice that I've got some gold eyelashes on, and basically how I did those was spray paint and then threw glitter on whilst the spray paint was drying, and yeah, that's what I did. Not safe, but don't do it, please don't, because I'm not too sure if it was safe or not. And I'm using the glitter from the prosthetics that I've made to the excess glitter to use on my face just to create some glistening, and then I'm going back into my lips because I had some glitter on my lips and I wanted to get rid of that shine. So guys, that's how I got the look, and I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to comment down below and give me a great big thumbs up, and also subscribe and check out all the rest of the videos on this channel, because there are plenty of videos. I'm digging these lashes, and maybe if they weren't so unsafe, maybe, I don't know, I would wear them all the time because I'm really feeling them. But anyway, I will see you in the next video. Bye! Marbatian Army.